Recording. Yay! Okay, Haley's gonna tell us her story. I asked her to kind of fill us in, just kind of on her journey and anything that she feels like would benefit us. I just really want to hear from her, and her story is super powerful. It's super inspiring, and it's super real. So I'm just gonna let her go, and I'm gonna mute.
Okay, hi guys. I love seeing everyone's faces on here. I miss having our team calls. I'm just looking to see who's all on. It's cool. I haven't seen a lot of your guys' faces before. So hello, everybody. Oh, Brie. Okay, I need to put this chat down or I will get distracted. Okay, so I'm really, really excited. I'm really nervous. I'm like shaking, but I just do this even though I love you guys all and you're like my sisters, but I just get really nervous. So that's me letting you know that if I start stuttering, you know why. But I have notes so that I don't squirrel brain all over the place. So my story, I have been coaching for 2 years now as of April 2nd. It's been like the most life-changing 2 years of my 24 years of life, and I couldn't be more grateful. I'm now a wife. I'm a sister. I actually have my 9-year-old brother here with me right now. So that's really cool. That's awesome because he comes and stays with me every spring break, and this is the first spring break that I haven't had to leave him with like a babysitter or anything. I get to hang out with him for the whole week, so that's really awesome. And he keeps asking me like, aren't you going to go to work? And I'm like, no. So it's like really, really, really cool. I'm a kitty mom. I have 2 cats. I don't have any kids. Me and my now husband have been together for almost 9 years now, but we don't have any kids yet. We have 2 cats. I have my associates in sociology, so I feel like that is what really sparked me wanting to like find myself. And it was so weird because right after that I actually met Candace, but I'm not going to even go into that. I struggle from PCOS and infertility. That's a big part of my story. That's actually a big part of why I started Beachbody, because I knew that having PCOS, that is a health thing that I can control with my nutrition and with weight loss. I was extremely overweight at that point, and so I knew that the only thing I could do besides get on medications was control my weight loss, and so that's what I did. I want to be fertile one day. I want to have my own kids, and so that's really what drove me in the beginning. In the beginning also, I was a big partier. Not a lot of people, I mean, you guys probably know this now, but not a lot of people knew that back then I was kind of like an in the closet partier. People thought I was really good, but I wasn't. I drank like literally daily. Some days I would wake up at 11 a.m. and I would drink, and only I would drive to school first and then drink when I got there, so I wasn't drinking and driving. I used to snort a lot of pills. I used to do a lot of whippets. I used to do a lot of things that, you know, helps you escape reality when you don't know how to escape reality. And I refused to do any like hard drugs. And to me, that was like my rock bottom. I never did like heroin or anything like that, but that was my rock bottom. And so why I started Beachbody, that's who I was before Beachbody. I was not a nice person. I was extremely overweight. I was going to school because I thought that that's what I had to do. I changed my major like 8 times, landed on sociology because I wanted to learn about women's studies and human sexuality. And so that's just what happened. It just ended up happening that way. I had no clue who I was. I just was doing what I thought I had to do. I was a caregiver. I worked as an in-home caregiver. I started that at 16 actually, and I didn't hate it, but I hated the anxiety that it gave me. I hated getting so attached because I loved my people so much, and I hated having to deal with them dying all the time. It broke my heart, and I always say now, like, I wanted to help people, but I didn't realize back then I didn't want to help them die. I wanted to help them live. And so that's what I have now. But I was a caregiver that gave me a lot of anxiety. So that's just what I was doing. I thought I had to do that. Why I started Beachbody, I was at 224 pounds, and the scale just kept going up. I felt like no matter what I was doing, I was like yo-yo dieting big time, you know, like I would do no carbs and just eat, like I tried the, what's it called, paleo, but I didn't even know what I was doing. I thought it was just only vegetables and meat. And so I had no clue what I was doing. You know, I just Googled everything. I did a lot of binge eating. Sometimes I would throw it up and sometimes I just would not eat. I tried at the end, I was a junior year, I went to the YMCA on the daily. I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying really hard to get my health under control, but I had no clue what I was doing. I had no knowledge on how to be healthy, on how to feel my body. I don't blame my family at all, but we were raised on fast food. My parents don't know much about like nutrition at all. I come from a teenage mom, and she just didn't teach us at that point. She did not teach me much about my nutrition. So I didn't know anything. I knew how to go through a drive-through at McDonald's, and I knew how to order a pizza. And so I was trying really hard. I just didn't know. I didn't know how to, I didn't know how to get that person back. And I wrote here, I remember being a really, really happy kid and really outgoing and almost like extroverted, which is so weird for me to say because I'm super introvert now. And then all of a sudden this blur happened, and I looked in the mirror, and I can remember this day, and I can remember asking myself, like, who the hell are you? Who are you? Like, I can remember saying to myself, I have no clue who I am anymore. And I don't even know what happened. I don't know how I went from that really, really happy kid. My grandma used to call me, and she could never find me because I was always out with my friends doing things. And all of a sudden I turned into this really mean person that like my friends would get nervous to even talk to because they were afraid I was going to explode on them. I was just trying to escape reality. James and I were not happy at all. I was like sneaking around and doing bad things behind his back, and we were not happy. We were this close to breaking up. And not many people know this part either, but at that point I would just like slice my arms because I didn't care. And I just hurted so bad. Hurted, is that a word? I hurt so bad. And that's people say like that's the only pain that you can control, and it really is. And at that point that's all I knew. And then somehow I came across Beachbody, and this girl Jen actually reached out to me. I added myself to some fitness page on Facebook, and this girl Jen actually reached out to me about Shakeology and PiYo, and I was just taking anything at that point. I didn't care. Like, I have a little brother that I have to live for. It just clicked in my head, and Braden just kept going, like popping up in my head. And I will start crying if I talk about it. So I'm not even going to go there. But I knew that I had to do something. And so when she came to me at that point, like, I didn't care. I took extra shifts, even though I was going to school full time. I took those extra nighter shifts. So I was like not sleeping at all. And I got my challenge pack from her. Her and I didn't really click very much. And I ended up actually losing, I think, like 30 pounds with that. And then I got comfortable and I quit. And so that was the end of that. And then later on, like 6 months later, I was at the turkey trot with my cousins in Reading. And my cousin Paige told me that she had a really badass friend named Candace who does Beachbody. And so like right then I friend requested her. And then all of a sudden, like, there was a giant shift in my life. It was so, so crazy to me. It's like such a blur to me now, but once you find those people that you click with, everything changes. I just have to put that out there. When I found Candace, she added me into Rising Lotus Wellness, and like I have it written down right here too, Bree and Audrey's name. Every time I refer back to like the people that I started with, I think of Bree and Audrey and Candace, like, because when I started posting. I posted my very first transformation pictures on there of me, like 224 pounds, and they supported the out of me. Like, and it was so crazy because I had never, ever had that love before, like ever. And all of a sudden I was like addicted, and it gives me goosebumps right now, even though I just shaved. Thanks guys. But like I all of a sudden got addicted to just sharing on this page because I got that support. And so like thinking back today to what really, like, what made me click, what was it about you guys that clicked in my head? Somehow when I shared that picture, I just got all of this support. And like, be vulnerable and share, because these this tribe will support you. So don't be afraid. But yeah, I just had to throw that out there because that's when I got hooked. I can remember that moment of posting that picture and the three of you supporting me. So thank you for that. But find your tribe. And just doing that is really going to push you to get those results too, because you have the people that are pushing you. It fuels your fire as soon as you see that someone has commented on your picture, especially if it's like your tribe. So I just had to throw that out there. But when I did start, when I signed up as a coach, I signed up mainly for the discount. I didn't know that at the time. I knew I wanted to do this. I don't know what happened. I had this wall up until we went to Summit. I actually was about to graduate school, so I was going to lose all my financial aid. And then we went to Summit. And actually, I remember seeing Bree, Candace, and Audrey again, looking at their phones the whole time, like being so engaged in all of these trainings that we were having. And I'm sitting there like so dumbfounded, like, what the hell? Okay, why are you guys staring at your phone like all the time? Who are you talking to like all the time? And so I like that I had my back up against the wall. It was either I got a job or I went back to caregiving, or I just did this. And I knew I wanted it. Like I knew I could do coaching. I knew I loved you guys and this whole entire tribe and everything we do. I have the belief in what we do because I don't know if you guys know this, but I've lost 80 pounds now through through the programs. I've done like 12 programs now over the last 2 years. Not only that though, like I have completely changed my entire everything in my mind. I feel like I don't even know who that person was. People don't even know who I am. It's like to hear my friends tell me, I used to be so afraid to cancel plans on you, and now it's nice because you're the one supporting me. That's like, it's like, who am I? Who the hell am I? But not only that, it's like finally this person that I knew I was inside is coming out. And that's like insane to me because I did not think that that was possible when I looked in the mirror that day and asked myself, who was I? Or who was I? Who am I? Like, and like, I can remember being in my bathroom, like just asking myself, who am I? And now I know who I am and that person is out. And like, that's just so insane to me. I'm squirrel braining. I'm trying to stick with my notes, you guys, but I'm trying really hard. Yeah, so that's my story. I'm now coaching full time. I am making enough to stay home, and my goal is to now get James to stay home, to be able to travel. Like I make enough right now to pay my bills, but I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to live free. I want to be able to have James live free, or to be able to have kids one day, because that's my goal with this, is to get my health in check without medication and to become fertile and have my own kids and not have to go to work. Having Braden here is like a little dose of that, like it breaks my heart if I was going to have to leave him. But that's my story. I think hopefully I went over all of it.
No, you did great. I absolutely love it. It's so crazy to hear all of this and the way that you felt and the things that you thought when you first reached out to me, because let me tell you guys, when she first reached out to me, I was a brand new coach, right? So like I was still learning how to even talk to people. And so like I didn't know where Haley was in her life when she reached out to me. She didn't tell me like a lot. And so I was just like doing my job, right? I was just supporting her, putting her in the community and just being there, and showing up and leading by example. That's like what I knew how to do as a coach. Like I did not know what would come of her journey. I was just doing my job and I showed up. And if I didn't, imagine like where we would be. We don't know. Like it's so crazy. Like I was just doing my job. Like, and it blows my mind that she's accomplished all of this just because I am doing my job as a coach and my coach did her job as a coach, which is just to help people and support people and help them be happier and healthier. Like every time Haley tells her story, I cry because it's just like, you don't know where people are when you meet them, and that's what this community is about, just being a safe place for people to come and grow and learn and, cultivate happiness and maybe self-love for the first time. And it's powerful. I don't know if I have anything else to add, but if I just keep talking, I'm just going to cry. But like, I mean, it's real. Audrey.
So I hope y'all guys see me. I'm like driving, so I don't have my service will go out. But yeah, like it's so important to just be all consumed with being what a coach is, because Haley, and not just like shutting off your own little island, but because Haley was just consumed with being that coach and being that kind of person. I had a girl, a customer, she's now one of my coaches, and she had really bad PCOS too and was like in the same boat. And so even though it wasn't Haley's customer, I was like, Haley, will you get in this three-way chat with me and help me talk to this girl because you're experiencing this? And Haley was like, hell yeah, I will. And thanks to Haley doing that, Emily has now been doing this for a year and is, you know, getting off all her PCOS medication. So like it's this huge trickle down effect. And even like when I was commenting on Haley's stuff in the beginning, I wasn't even a coach yet. She was a coach before me. So like just having that spirit in you will be what like pushes your passion through your entire career.
It seriously just blows my mind how supportive we are and how like we're a really awesome team. Like I don't know if you guys know that or not, but we're kind of cool. Like duh, right? Like we have so many resources and we have so many awesome people, like real people, and we just support each other and we have each other's backs, and it changes lives. Like with everything else aside, just that alone is so impactful. Like I know, you know, I felt the same way when I started, but I mean, I don't have anything else. I don't have anything profound to say, but yeah, I really appreciate you, you know, always being real, Haley. One thing I always love about going to Haley's page is that she's not afraid to share things, especially if they make her uncomfortable, because by her sharing, she's helping someone else know, like the old Haley, you know, that, you know, was unhappy and prone to self-harm and stuff like that. Just know they're not alone and that there's hope and that they can, you know, be better and be happier. And it's just,
yeah. Can I say something?
Please.
That's like 100%. That's where too, like, I think it's so important to, and Amy Silverman kind of like brought this up in my mind. Don't care about what other people are going to think. Like, I love that she said, if you think it's too frisky, then post it. If you think it's going to offend your mom, post it, because those are the posts that are going to help people. If it, like, you know, tell your mom not to read it. Post in the top if you need to, Mom, don't read this, you know, with little stars. Like, post it, because those are the scary things that people need to hear from you. You're the voice that people are waiting to hear, and there's so many people out there that will never relate to anybody but you. Like, I know that I didn't click with Jen, and I couldn't, like, not that she wasn't an awesome person, she was, but like that just wasn't my tribe. And if I would have never found Candace or this team, it's not even just Candace, it's this whole entire community. I literally don't know if I would be on this earth anymore. Like, and I can truly say that I don't know, and I don't know where I would be. And if I was on this earth, I know for sure I would not be healthy. I would not be happy, and I would not be in my relationship anymore. So, you know, like, don't be afraid to post those things, and don't be afraid to post in the team page too. You know, if you're like afraid to post in public, then start out in the team page and let us support you and cheer you on before you post publicly. And not only that, you can block certain people from your posts too, just so you know. But post those things, because that's what's going to help you grow. So that's what helped me grow. And I was so addicted to sharing because I got that support. And so become addicted to sharing those hard things, and you're not being conceited and you're not being selfish by doing that. You're actually helping. You're being selfish by not sharing your journey. Like 100% you are being selfish by holding that back, because you're not allowing someone to realize that they're not alone, if that makes sense. Like, so that's what I have to say about that. Like, just don't be afraid.
Absolutely makes sense. One thing that Amy Silverman said today too that really stuck out to me is, like, if we're, you know, holding on to all these things and we're too afraid what other people think. She said that you're giving in too much to the ego, and the only way to overcome the ego is to lead with humility, which is to share the embarrassing things, the scary things, the vulnerable things. And like she said, if you don't want your mom to read it, block her from the post or whatever. You know, there's been plenty of things I've shared where my parents or my mom has been offended, and she'll call me or she'll write me and let me know, like, I didn't like that you said that. And I'm like, well, it's my life, you know, like, sorry, like, I don't know what to say. It's my life. My life offends you. Like, bye. You know, like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm helping people, and I'm not bad mouthing, you know, we're not bad mouthing our parents or anything like that, but everybody has their own perspective. And I know that if Colleen didn't share what she was going through, I would feel alone, and I was miserable before this. Cody and I are pretty miserable. I can honestly say I don't know if we'd still be together if it wasn't for this. And I know a lot of, I mean, I'm not, you know, it sounds so, like I was telling Haley the other day, it sounds so dramatic when we're like, coaching changed my life. But it's so true, you know, like it did, because everything that it encompasses, not just like being a part of Beachbody, it's everything that we're about. It's the support, the community, the good health, the personal development, the stepping out of the comfort zone, like constantly challenging myself to be better and do more and be more and thrive and just be better for the world in general. It's just that all of that has made my life better, you know, not just like a fitness program or being a part of Beachbody. It's like this community, like Haley said, this team. When I started my team back in the day, I was like, nobody is going to want to join me. Like, nobody cares what I have to say. Nobody cares about me, right? I was that person that's like, my story's insignificant, but none of our stories are insignificant. They're all so unique and different to us that, just like Haley said, there's like that person out there that's only going to relate to you. So, I mean, in a sense, we are being selfish by not sharing it. It's our job, you know, and the things that are uncomfortable are the things that yield us the greatest results. They allow people to connect to us, to know that we're real. And Bree said she stalked me for 6 months. It's funny because I still have people reaching out to me, you guys, that are like, I followed you for 2 years. And I'm like, what? I've like never seen your name before. You've never liked one thing. Like, tell me more about this, because like, it's crazy to me, like how long it takes some people. But I know there's a lot of coaches that are like, well, I share my thing every day and people are going to get tired of reading it. No, the wrong people are going to get tired of reading it, and that's fine because they'll be gone. But when the wrong people leave, it leaves more room for the right people, and that's totally okay. In the beginning of this business, I shared so much. People would make fun of me. People I went to school with, they'd mock me and be like, clean eating, eat clean, you know, like my hashtags. They'd make fun of me, and I'm just like, okay, not my tribe. That's fine. I understand it's not for you. Bye. Like, do it or don't, you know, like Haley Christian always says, like, it's our job, and we have to share our story to help people, not to be conceited, not to be self-absorbed or, you know, anything like that. It's because our story has the power to help the whomever we are before Beachbody. I'm looking to help the Candace before Beachbody. Haley's looking to speak to the Haleys before Beachbody, you know, same with, you know, Brittany and Nikki and Audrey and Bree and everybody. Like, we're speaking to who we were before because we're improving ourselves, and that's the only way we can, is through our story. Storytelling is so powerful, and I think we get caught up in our posts and thinking that they're supposed to be perfect, and we're supposed to have this mission to like close this deal every time we make a post, and we're just telling our story and being real about it. Like, 90% of the things I post are stories. Maybe like the other 10% are like opportunity posts, but it's mostly just storytelling. Facebook is basically like our journal with intention, right? Like, we're intentionally posting about our life in hopes of helping someone else realize they're not alone, they can change, we can help them. Drop the mic. I don't know. Does anyone else have anything else to say?
I did want to say this really quick. I heard it, even it's like for the 1000th time I heard it, but it was a Super Saturday and I heard it for the 1000th time and it clicked. But if you're worried about what anyone's thinking, just know that if you're in everybody else's mind, like you're trying to predict what they're going to think, then it's impossible for you to be in your own mind. So how can you possibly be tapping into your life or your growth or sharing your story if you're busy occupying someone else's mind, trying to predict what they're thinking? So stop it.
I love that. And it's funny because, I mean, we've all been there. When we all still have a tendency to sometimes, maybe to a degree, go there. Like, we're human, right? But like, the best thing I ever heard was that we don't pay our bills with other people's opinions, right? So like, whenever I heard that, I felt like it was so empowering, and it just gave me like the green light to be like, all right, So, you know, bring your sass or bring your whatever you want, like be however you want to be. I don't want you to be like me, like Haley, like Audrey. I want you to be like you. And that's the beauty of this business, is that we get to be 100% ourselves. We don't have to pretend to be anyone else. Like, we can be sassy, we can curse, or we can be good, or we can be whatever we want to be, because it's our choice and we're the boss, and we're going to attract people just like that. We don't have to ever put on an act. I don't know how long, you guys, I lived my life putting on an act, waking up, putting on shit I wouldn't wear, you know, doing my hair ways I wouldn't do it, going to a job I don't like just trying to be this person that I'm not, that I thought I was supposed to be my whole life, that it just made me so miserable and I felt so lost. And I just remember the day I woke up, like Haley says, you know, you just have that moment where you just like, you know, you're like, who am I? And I remember that day I woke up in my bed, we were in our home, and I just sat there and I was like, I've been doing the same thing every day. It's so monotonous. I hate it. Is this all there is to life? You get married, you get old, you get sick, you get fat, you die. Like, job is unhappy, you're barely paying bills, and like Beachbody is a vehicle. It's a vehicle to get us from, you know, where we were to where we want to go. Like, I know that everyone comes into this business differently. I came into it because I saw it as an opportunity to change my life. If I did seemingly small behaviors every day, which are like the freaking vital behaviors, right? Like, things to improve ourselves. Improving myself is my job. Fitness is my job. Eating right is my job. Being a part of a badass, like-minded community is my job. Like, what? Right? Because my job was like sitting here crunching numbers and on the computer all day long doing shit I hated. I used to have to do medical charts. I used to be a receptionist at an insurance company. I used to get yelled at and abused, and, you know, it sucked. It sucked. And I hate it, and I'll never go back, and the time is almost running out. But I could just keep on ranting, but I'm sorry. It's amazing to me, like, the opportunity that we have here. And I want to make sure that everybody knows you cannot fail at this. You cannot break this. You cannot do anything that we cannot fix unless you quit or do not try. Those are the ways that you fail, right? So if you're still here, you've not failed, you're learning, right? We either fail I love when I think of an analogy and then I lose it. What is it? We either win or we learn, right? So we either win or we learn, because we never fail. We learn from everything that we experience and then we tweak, right? Makes sense? We either win or we learn. Progress, not perfection. Yeah. Bree says Haley drew her in because she posted her transformation. I will never forget the day too. Bree messaged me and said, is Haley a coach? And I said, no, she's not. And she said, why? And I don't know. I don't think she wants to. And it's just crazy because you look back at who I was then, and I was probably too scared to ask her. To be honest with you, I was too scared to ask Bree to be a coach. Bree thought I didn't think she was ready to be a coach because I didn't ask her. Doesn't that blow your mind? She wanted to coach. I thought she wasn't ready because I didn't ask her, because I was scared, because I was listening to my ego and my fear over potentially helping her better her accountability and her fitness and her health. Like, isn't that just insane? Like, yeah, Brie asked me to be a coach. It's did someone unmute?
I just unmuted myself. I was just going to say, like, it's so true. Like, don't let that ego get in your way, because I just recently, like, I let that get in my way for so long, which is like why I am where I am. I take 100% responsibility for that. And just recently, I feel like I've broke down that wall, and all of these people that I have been talking to have been telling me, oh, I've been wanting to reach out to you, I've just been too afraid, or, oh, I've been thinking about reaching out to you since November, or like all of these things, like, and it just blows my mind. Like, they're not reaching out to me because they're afraid. So people are really waiting for you. So when you said that, it just clicked. So I just wanted to say that, like, I've had so many people tell me that lately, and it's like, I'm like kicking myself in the butt. Like, what the heck?
And you know what? We've all been there, and I was there. Like, we were all there. That's just something I feel like we go through in this business as we're building our confidence, and we're getting comfortable with, well, not comfortable, but like getting comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Because like we never really get like comfortable doing things that are crazy and out of the norm. But brain fart on where I was even going with that. Isn't that funny? Now my brain's like, bye. Just give it a minute. Balls. What were we even fucking talking about?
Not letting our ego get in the way.
Help! I'm drowning. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what the point I was going to make, but I did it for way too long. I was too scared to ask people. Oh, I know what I was going to say. If we don't ask someone or invite them, someone else will, right? And that stings when you've been a coach for like, I don't know what, like 6 months, and then your friend that's like really awesome is asked by someone else. And because you never asked them, they join with this person because they've been wanting to do it, but you just didn't ask them and they were too scared to ask you, right? That hurts, right? And it's happened to me so many times. Like if we don't ask or we don't invite, someone else will, right? So we have to do our job. Like what are they going to say? No, not right now. Cool. We'll check in, right? We don't die. I don't know why we're all scared of it, but we are when we start because it's different and we don't like rejection and that's cool. But like we have to go for no, right? Because that's this business. We have to get all the no's out of the way to get the yeses, and eventually the no's turn to yeses. Like, I don't know how many, I told Colleen no on coaching for a year. I don't know if you guys know that. I told her no for a whole year. She followed up with me for an entire year. You guys, a year. That's a long time. And I was like, oh, no, I don't have the money. Going out to the bars, drinking, unhappy, depressed, overweight, eating chocolate-covered almonds for dinner every night. Oh, I don't have money for that. I don't have money for that. Buying purses, buying shoes, buying hella expensive, stupid Miss Me jeans. Like, I was doing everything but that because it was just an excuse, but she kept following up with me and supporting me for an entire freaking year. And it's just like, how stupid, right? But like, that's how long it takes some people, and I wasn't ready, and timing is everything. So just think about that. Like when you get a no, like think about me. I said no. And if you don't ask them, someone else will. That's why it's so important to invite. Like, I know this call is going like on all these different directions, but like it's important. And I invite everyone that I talk to. Like, I don't do it like if they message me, hey, Candace, how are you? And I'm like, want to join my group? Like, I'm not like that, I might be like, hey, I'm actually setting up this thing. And I'm like, what's that? And I'm like, cool, you should do it. Like, I invite my dad, I invite my mom, my brother, like everybody. Like, why not? Because if I don't, someone else will, right? And it could be a me, it could be a Haley, it could be a Bree, it could be an Audrey. We never know. So this call was really fun. I'm really appreciative for all you taking the time out of your evenings. I know everybody's busy and we have lives, so I really appreciate you guys showing up. And I'm sorry that I brain farted on Tuesday. I don't even know what happened, but I'm glad that everyone was able to make it today. And I'm going to post the recording in the team page too. Does anyone have any last words before I hit stop? No? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Thank you for hosting this and everything. I really enjoy when we all get together and have our team calls. So I just want to say thank you, and that it was really good to see everyone's faces. I
do too. It's really important to, to just keep in contact and just be real. And I think sharing everyone's stories is so important because we all come into this business at different parts of our life. And I think that sometimes we get too caught up in like our own BS stories that we need to be like reminded of where other people were, and that like, oh my God, duh, like it's my job and I get to help people and it's awesome. Like best job ever.
And it's Throwback Thursday, if, just a little idea, if anyone needs a post idea. You can tell your story. You can use tonight as a chance to get vulnerable and tell your story.
Absolutely. Transformation Tuesday and Throwback Thursdays I always try to utilize because it gives me a time to reflect. And I think it's super important to show people our growth, right? So like those are 2 opportunities every week. I know I saw April's recently. I think it was the Transformation Tuesday, and it freaking blew my mind. I was like, whoa, right? Audrey like shouted her out and I was like, damn, like that girl's rocking. That was crazy. I think I posted it in our wellness page. I think I snagged it and put it in there because I'm a creeper, but that was awesome. Like, I love seeing that stuff. And like, that's the stuff that like motivates people to start because they're like, whoa, I was like her before. She can help me get to like her now. Right. Like, so I do have a Throwback Thursday post of my face that I'm going to share. That's always a winner. It's like me with like triple chins and then me now, like with not, but yeah. So I love you guys and thank you so much for showing up, and we'll see you again next week. It's going to be Tuesday. Thursday was because I dropped the ball, but I love you. Bye. Mwah. Now I don't know how to end it.